10 years ago, we lived through some of the most intense paranormal activity imaginable. That led us to research haunted locations, supernatural beings. What's on the wall over there? And all different types of paranormal activity. Oh! What we discovered, the South Coast is wickedly haunted. Hi everyone, it's Friday night. It's time for Wickedly Haunted. I'm Todd.
And I'm Marissa.
Welcome to tonight's show. Here's a quick clip to let you know what you can expect from tonight's episode.
The static detector's going wild. That doesn't even detect energy. And look, and now it's at 0, 0. It's just beeping.
Try to do voice.
Look, now it's at 0, 0. Thank you. Can you do that again? Make it beep again.
Just 3 minutes into our investigation, our new SLS camera picks up an amazing entity or spirit either coming out of or climbing into our spirit box, the vortex.
Oh, it's ice cold right here.
Yeah, and now down, stop right there. It's like your arms right on top of their head.
It's ice cold right here.
Then I see the person.
Yeah, feel this.
Did you see that? X?
That's okay. Listen, looks like there's a little bit of an issue internet-wise or with the clip. You're going to see all that stuff tonight anyway. We have a fantastic show for you tonight. Last weekend, we went to an old factory in New Bedford's North End, and it was non-stop activity. We walked away with so much evidence that tonight we're actually only going to get into the first floor of this factory. We did both floors. But tonight we're only going to do the first floor, and I had tons of evidence to show you from the first floor that I couldn't even get into. Absolutely non-stop activity, right, Marissa?
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was pretty sweet. We actually got to try out our new Sls V2 camera. Now, if you're familiar with our videos at all, you know that we have an SLS camera, which is this one right here. We've used this on many a video. I don't have the tablet on it right now, but this one is basically a Connect from an Xbox 360, and you get the stick figures. It does shoot in infrared. It does use infrared in its system, but the night vision picture on it is really dark, so we always show it in the the 3D colorized version of it, and sometimes it's not super easy to tell, what you're looking at in the background. So, I often have to put it side by side with like an infrared picture. The new Connect camera is this baby right here. And this is actually a Connect from an Xbox One. About 1,000 times better in the way it shoots, how fast it is. The processor is much faster, the chip in it. In a second, I'm going to show you a video that kind of breaks all this down anyway. But this thing, I hate to sound, I don't want to sound like a nut job here, but it kind of sees into like a different realm, dimension, whatever you want to call it. It sees things that none of our other cameras see.
Yeah.
And our night vision cameras see a lot of wild
I
stuff.
can't even understand how the damn thing works. I don't know. I don't understand it. But it sees strange, bizarre things that you'll see. You'll
understand about 1 second when I show you this clip. And we tested it out at home, which is this first clip we're going to show you. It's not from the factory. We do have clips from this from the factory that are going to blow your mind. Believe me. This first clip is probably going to blow your mind too. We tested this out at home. We live in a haunted house. If you've never watched the show before, we're streaming right now in a haunted house. Something wild could happen at any second. Believe me, we live here. It gets a little freaky sometimes. But we tested out. We investigated here, which we often do. And as soon as we turned this thing on, a spirit stick figure showed up. There's much more detail in the stick figures as well.
Yeah.
As far as like you can see more joints. The the roundness of the shoulders, the hips. You're going to see in a second, real freaky. So we're going to run this first clip, which is a comparison between these two SLS cameras on that night we investigated in our home to test out both of these and check out what the differences were. So let's roll this first clip right now and see what you think. This is the Relatively Paranormal comparison of the SLS V1 camera versus our new SLS V2 camera. We've had the SLS V1 for a while and it's been fantastic. The picture you're looking at right here was actually taken during a recent investigation in our own home. What you're looking at is the doorway to our bedroom in the middle. That apparition on camera appeared on a blank wall to the left of the doorway. As you can see, it's undulating around, making freaky movements, but you can clearly tell the head, feet, arms, and legs of the apparition. Not a ton of detail, but enough to let you know what's there. The way that camera works is it casts out an infrared light source. A sensor chip within the Connect then measures the distance that light had to travel to each pixel. Then the embedded software uses depth perception mapping to identify the objects in real time and put them on a video picture. You can see it has now identified a second figure on the right of the wall, and there's even a circle beginning to form in the middle of the screen, which is going to become another apparition and right now. And then they all disappear, which is really freaky, and then another one appears on the blank wall to the right of my doorway. Really crazy stuff. The SLS V1 has been fantastic for us over the last year. Coming up next, our latest purchase, the Sls Connect V2 camera, something we're super excited about. Now, the V2 camera uses different technology, and as you can see in this video, also from that same night, it picked up a flurry of strange activity. You can see orbs shooting all around the screen. You can also see other freaky things that are changing shape as they fly through the air. This last apparition, or whatever it is, starts off underneath the table as a see-through object. As it reaches the vortex, you can actually see it cast a shadow over near the refrigerator, and then it transformed into something else much darker towards the ceiling before it passes through my kitchen ceiling and disappears. Onto the figure, as you can see with this guy, a little bit more detail. You can see hips, you can see shoulders, you can see hands. His hands are actually shooting out right now, which is really freaky because that's about where I was standing, over near my computer. The head is a little bit more pronounced. Certainly a much more articulate character that you're seeing there, this apparition standing on the edge of my counter. But the fact that it's kind of seeing almost into a different dimension there with the orbs and whatever else those things were, I mean, it had to have some sort of depth in it for this camera to perceive it, because it uses a different technology. It uses time of flight distance, kind of like sonar, only much, much better. Where the V1 was 480, this is 1080 full HD technology. The infrared light can see in darkness just as well as in light, but anything appearing on it has to have depth to it. Now, this is another screen of that same interaction, and this is full 3D. You can see that thing that went up into the light. That was in full 3 dimensions. You can see the skeleton has 26 joints here on this screen. All the joints are separated. This is another version of that same scene in a color kind of 2D mode, and again, that same thing appeared. Crazy stuff. All right, so the beginning of that video didn't play. So I explained how the first version of the SLS camera works. And basically what it does is it shoots out infrared dots that map things out that have solid form to them. I explained it on that because I was reading it off of something, off of like a website, because I don't know off the top of my head. But the other SLS, the new one, works like sonar, only like a million times better, where it casts out an infrared signal with no dots, so you don't see that on our footage. And it's time of flight, how long that signal takes to get back to the computer to process it. So the first one, if I am using it, you can see dots all over us. It looks like we're using a laser grid. And the second one, you don't see any of that. And you did see part of the infrared picture on it. It's actually not a bad picture at all. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But what you didn't see was the freaky things that saw. Like the stick man in that video is the least impressive thing in the video. There's this freaky like orb that comes out of the wall, if you can call it that. It makes a 90-degree turn underneath our kitchen table. It shoots up through our vortex spirit box. When it hits the spirit box, which was on, it blows up into a bright white ball. It actually casts a shadow somehow on our back wall at that point near the refrigerator. And when it comes out of the box, it's no longer a ball. It looks like an amoeba almost, like dark black. And when it gets close to our ceiling, it turns jet black, like solid black. And then it disappears when it gets to the ceiling.
It's almost like you can watch it manifest from the ground all the way up to the ceiling, and I don't know where the heck it goes.
You see it in the colorized version. It just doesn't do it justice because, and all the other things that shoot out of the wall in that video. I did post the part of that video on our public Facebook page, Relatively Paranormal. Anyone can join the public Facebook page. If you join the page, then you can see the video. It's like just a 40-second clip of those things shooting out of the wall and that weird thing that goes up through the box. And it shows it in slow motion as well. And in slow motion, it's really freaky.
It's definitely worth seeing. So definitely.
So while I'm talking about the Facebook page, if you or anyone you know has a paranormal problem, you're dealing with a haunting, you're being tormented by a spirit, you're hearing weird stuff in your house, and you just want to know what it is, we don't charge, okay? We don't judge anyone. We just come help. We don't charge a penny for our services. Our website, relativelyparanormal.com, is actually like a catch-all for all things relatively paranormal. So the last page on the website, there is a booking form where if you need help or if you have a question, you can put it in there. It'll come to us, and we'll see it, and we will respond back to you as soon as possible, especially where like families are involved, kids. We will get to your house as soon as possible, your business, wherever you need help. And, you know, we can validate the haunting. We can do our very best to find out who is there, what they want, why they're there. And if you want us to, we're very successful at cleansing houses of entities as well. I think we're batting 1,000, you know, not to toot my own horn. Our website has a link on there, which is relativelyparanormal@gmail.com, but there is a link on the website. It also has a link to our YouTube channel, Relatively Paranormal. We try to keep it simple. Our YouTube channel has great evidence clips from past investigations. It has full investigation clips, past episodes of Wickedly Haunted. It has everything. If you're into paranormal evidence, that's what we are about. We're about nonstop paranormal activity, nonstop paranormal evidence. We are not about anything else. So you can check out our YouTube channel. All the videos are free. We just ask one small favor. Please just subscribe to the channel. Please just subscribe. And again, the Facebook group is a public group. Anyone can join. We put up, you know, investigation dates we're going to. I put up a lot of evidence clips. So Marissa takes awesome paranormal pictures. She puts those up a lot. So we try to put up as much stuff as we can because we love paranormal. I actually just put up a video explaining all of our equipment. We had it all laid out one day. We were going through it, putting batteries in it, whatever. And we did a video of everything that you know, we use and why we use it. You know, we don't just throw things haphazardly on the ground and walk away. We do experiments with our equipment to see what works, what's effective, why did that work? And then we watch it on the video later and you know, we see what works so that we can kind of change up our style so that we can continue our research, you know, and batten down our theories and stuff like that. So we don't just splash the equipment around and hope something happens. We kind of have theories and things we do and see if it works, doesn't work. that sort of things. And that's one of the reasons why we get a lot of activity and a lot of evidence. Okay, so back to the videos. We did that great investigation at this old factory. The place does have a working business in it, so they did ask to remain anonymous. The guy giving the tour is an employee there. He did ask to remain anonymous, so he does not appear in the tour. We're not going to give you the name of the location. It's in New Bedford's North End. That's about it. So let's roll into that first clip where we're getting a tour of it, and some paranormal activity actually does kick up during the tour. So this is going to be a little bit interesting. So let's roll that tour clip.
Relatively paranormal. We just arrived at our next location, an older building in the historic north end of New Bedford, Massachusetts. As you can see in the background, there's already a telltale sign that this should be a good night. We got a creepy flickering light in the background. We're going to get some information on what's going on here. We're going to pick up our equipment, bring it inside, set up, and get this investigation started. Inside the location, we're going to take a walk around, take a look at things, hear some stories about what's going on, and then we'll set up and get this ghost hunt started. So I'm going to leave it to the man.
Area over here is where I heard footsteps when I came in. I turned on the light, and then when you come into this area, I was walking overhead. I got up ahead, and I heard coming up on me footsteps, like it was somebody gonna come up and say, "Hey!"
Yeah.
It came up quick. You hear the sound of it? But it was a sound that's a little bit more deeper than actual my feet is going. And right as I thought somebody was gonna touch me, I turned and nobody was there. I got chills.
The footsteps stopped too?
The footsteps stopped, nobody was there, and it was literally like somebody ran up to me to go do something. But
yeah.
When I turned around, it was just instant chills, and it was only because nothing was there.
And you say chills because you were freaked out, or you felt the rush of cold air with it?
I didn't feel nothing like.
You didn't feel cold air or nothing
like that. But as soon as I turned, it was just instant chills. I was over here messing with the stereo, and over there, I heard a noise, and it was quiet like this. If we don't talk, you hear how quiet it is. And I hear like trays. So I turn and look, and I'm like, maybe one fell or slipped into place, you know. So I look back and I hear it again, like not even a minute later. Yeah. When I looked, I thought I saw a shadow. You know?
Oh, no kidding.
But it was so quick, you know.
Yeah.
But it was in that area over there.
You saw the shadow straight on with your own eyes?
Yeah.
Like not out of the corner eye, you saw it straight on.
No, like as soon as I got to about here, I seen a shadow.
Oh, shoot. Like, by yourself?
By myself, yeah.
How'd that make you feel? A little freaked out?
The first time
I'd be freaked out if I was in here by myself.
The footsteps one, I went outside, you know. I went outside right away. The other one, I just was like, I turned the music loud.
Something charging at you.
Like,
well, and I'll tell you this because Marissa and I live in a haunted house now too. We live in this is the second haunted house we lived in, neither one on purpose. And it's one thing when you're inspecting paranormal activity, it's another thing when you're not. Yeah. It's kind of shocking, you know what I'm saying? It's one thing when you're in here looking for it, another thing when you're not. Oh, yeah. It's different, because I see weird stuff all the time.
Oh, yeah. Now, this floor we use, upstairs is original.
Yeah.
This is painted white, upstairs is all original.
Yeah.
The walls are still its original color, the brick is its original brick, and we just have a few old things stored up there. So sometimes we got boxes up there too, you know, like these. So a guy went up and I guess he heard footsteps too. He said he was so scared that instead of coming back down the elevator or the steps, he shot through that.
His fastest way down.
The ladder right here? Oh my God.
The ladder was
Yeah.
Pulled up the hatch and went down there.
One of our bosses, at night he watches the cameras and stuff, and that we usually all end up out of here by 4 or 5. The latest.
Yeah.
Well, he stays, you know, like an extra hour, and he was the cameras shut off.
So just.
They have infrared, all these cameras in here.
Go ahead. Just this.
There's a bunch of cameras around the factory, and they're all infrared. Well, the infrared goes off, so the camera will shut off and turn black. If you move in that infrared, the cameras come on.
Yeah.
Well, like 3 cameras in a row came on one at a time, and nobody was here.
In like consecutive order?
In consecutive order. And then he came out to check because he's like, hey, that's like somebody's walking through because they're going, you know,
Who the fuck's in here?
And nobody was in here.
That's crazy.
And even when I told him, you know, you guys were going to come and do it, he's like, you told him about mine?
Maybe. So that's 3 separate
Is it?
Yeah, 3
solo incidences, though. Like,
And that's just the ones who was around when I had mentioned it. You know?
who knows what anybody else has got? How many guys here at night?
This is like pegging, this is going to like a 0.5, 0.6,
That's a lot of people.
0.7. Look, the static detector's going off too. That doesn't even do energy.
Oh, okay.
Look at that. Look at that.
Vibration?
Look, it's at 0, now. And it's at 0, now. If that was you, can you make this go off again? Make it beep? Make it turn red?
Would you hear noise back there?
Go ahead. Oh, you gotta just touch it where these arrows are right here where my fingertips are. Go ahead, I'll hold it away from myself. I won't hurt you, and neither will that. The static detector's going wild. That doesn't even detect energy. And look, and now it's at 0, it's just beeping. Are you touching this black box right here? Can you back away from it for a second? Look, and it's going to 0, 0. 0. All right, can you touch this blue box again and make that beep? That's crazy. Look, it's touching it. See this one here? This is only static energy. You have to touch it on the end over there. Like I'd have to drag my feet on the carpet and then touch it, and it would shut off once I moved my hand. It's blinking,
Never
so
does
that
it.
means
Yeah,
that
we'll have it.
if it's blinking, that means you're like keeping your hand there, like, and it's like, it means it's like a high amount of static electricity. And I'm trying to reset it. Watch, you press the button to reset it,
You can say your house
and
was
it's going
off.
back on.
You had it on, but it wasn't going.
What the hell? All right, thank you. Thank you.
What'd you hear?
We've come here to talk to you tonight, so we're going to talk to you. I had a feeling to grab this. I don't know why. And now it's at 0, 0. Look at that. It's going to be a good
Especially
night.
like when we get quiet, it gets creepy.
Quiet. Listen.
I can picture you here by yourself and shit.
Oh, look, it went up to like 0.8.
Watch. Try to just listen.
Look at that, it's at 0, 0. Thank you. Can you do that again? Make it beep again. This is looking at us at like, look at it, 0.9.
I see.
Go ahead,
I
you
got
did
it. Go.
It almost did it. You got to make it go up a little bit higher. There it is. Keep going. A little bit higher. Just grab them at the top of the box. Grab up top here with your hand. Grab it. Crazy. Look at that. All right, you can come with us. Go ahead. Come on. Keep on keeping on. That is crazy. That's awesome. And look, I can't reset this thing. It won't reset.
Something's
It
a
will
little
not
bit.
receive. Oh, you know what it is? Because whatever it is hanging out in front of me. And it's setting it off. That's what it is.
Looks good in this light.
All right, keep going. Yeah, go ahead. You can stay with me. Whatever this is has a lot of static energy. And it's staying with me because that 0.3, 0.2, 0.3.
Just be careful on that.
Did you hear that? Yeah, you didn't hear that person behind it?
Yeah.
I don't understand why this won't reset.
Go ahead,
now
Todd.
it reset. Look, now that we went up the staircase, it reset.
Look at it, you see
When
it,
I pressed
Todd?
that.
That thing.
I bet you it's relegated to that area down the first floor. We come back down, it'll activate. You watch.
I'm gonna go ahead
I
and
have
shut
a theory about
it.
this. And when I told you ran at the house,
Yeah.
theory about the floors. Look, and now it's at 0, 0. So look, static meters reset,
See
and
it?
it's at 0, 0. Watch,
Get it.
whatever that is won't come up here. Because there might be something else up here.
I'm gonna fall.
Have you ever heard footsteps up here when you were downstairs?
This is where the guy heard the footsteps.
Up here? Alright, so what we'll do is...
In that room that we was in,
Yeah.
just now underneath it, one day we were all down there picking, and at time there's probably only 5 of us in the building.
Yeah.
And we're all downstairs. And we're picking, and right above me, boom, sound like not a foot, sound like boof, like a loud bang. And I looked up and I looked at everybody. I was like, nobody went upstairs for no boxes, right? Everybody was like, no.
So you think it's down here? Oh, we can do solos.
Oh my God! Something pops out behind one of these pedestals.
I'll come up here in the pitch black. Okay, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
What are those machines?
Be careful, Marissa, walking in here. Oh.
Oh, look at that. 2.3. If that was you, can you do that again? If that was a ghost, a spirit, an entity, a dead person, can you do that again? This lets us know that you're here. There you go. Grab it real tight. It won't hurt you. It just lets us know you're here, that's all. Or you can touch this other one too on the end here, or this on the top. Go ahead. I brought it so that I know you're here. It's weird to shoot at 2.7 out of nowhere.
For no reason.
There's nothing
No.
here, nothing.
You're not around nothing. You're around pipes.
It's
Look at this.
0. Oh, there it goes. There you go. Go ahead, do it again. Let us know you're here. Can you make it beep again? That's all right. I know you're out of energy. I brought energy for you. Oh, there it goes. Look. There you go. Good job.
I like the
Thank you.
randomness of it, huh?
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
fucking good.
Out of nowhere.
That's crazy because
There we go. Thank you. Hey, and that way because we came here to talk to you. Yep. See? Thank you.
we were in the Conjuring house, guys, and it took to the end of the night for it to start going on.
Thank you.
This is good, son.
Thank you.
Everybody
Look at that. Great. Yeah, one more time, real quick. Do you stay up here on this floor? Make it beep if you stay up here. Do you stay on this floor?
Do you see
0.3. There you
Do
go.
you see a picture of
Oh, there you go. Thank you. All right.
Wow.
Thank you.
You see just an old man's head?
Yeah, the nose, the mouth, the eyes.
Good job. Look.
All right. So I want to apologize about the swearing. I thought I had bleeped that out. Brandon, if you're watching, you got to stop swearing. If I stop swearing, and believe me, if I can stop swearing, you can stop swearing. All right. I thought I had him bleeped out. I apologize about that, folks. But anyway, that bar that I was carrying around has an EMF detector on one side, which does temperature and electromagnetic frequencies. It can pick up electrical signals from like your refrigerator, electronic devices, if I put it up to them. I put the static meter on the other side because that does not detect anything but static energy on the tip. It's made for one thing. It's made for like the medical and the computer world, where if you put your hands inside of a computer and you have static on it, you can blow out the computer parts. So it's a contact meter. You have to like rub your feet on the carpet and then touch yourself with it or touch your finger to it, and then it will go off. It doesn't pick up static electricity in the air. It does not do that. It picks it up on contact. So whatever was setting that off on the first floor was touching it or had their finger. It's like within like 10 millimeters or something crazy. I'd have to read the book again. It's less than like it's like less than a quarter of an inch. You have to be like on it. So the fact that it stayed on and the fact that it was blinking means like a ton of static electricity. So you know that whatever it was stayed with us that whole point till I got to the staircase. To answer Dave's question, yes, we get permission to go to places. Even if it's a graveyard, I will call the local police station. Marissa will tell you. And I will ask for permission to go there, because if they pull up and they find you there, they're going to think you're vandalizing or whatever. I always ask for permission. There's plenty of places to investigate without having to. My aunt put up their no swearing. See, Auntie, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I wasn't swearing. I thought I beeped it. There's plenty of places to investigate legally without having to go into a place without permission and get arrested. So yes, we had permission from the owner to go in that building. And let me tell you something, on the first floor with the lights on, it doesn't look that creepy. You saw how creepy it was with the lights off when I had just the flashlight. We kill all the lights. We walk around in total darkness. The only time we even allow a flashlight to go on is if we need to get a piece of equipment or move about without tripping around and killing ourselves if we're moving from one place to another, but we don't allow lights. The main reason for that, one, we use infrared cameras, but the main reason is we've asked spirits and they do not like light. There's a reason why paranormal activity is relegated mainly to nighttime is because they do not like darkness. And as far as negative entities,
They like the darkness.
I mean, I'm sorry, they do not like light. That's correct. As far as negative entities go, they despise darkness. They despise the light of God. So if you ever wondered why in the movies or whatever on paranormal shows, the negative entities always hanging out in the basement or in the dark attic, that is why. The famous paranormal investigator Ed Warren would start every investigation. He would go right into the basement for that reason, and he would start religiously provoking in the basement because he knows that that's where they would hang out. Yeah. So we do not allow lights on. Oh, Brandon got excited. Listen, I know I got excited too, Brandon. I get it. I thought I bleeped it. I don't know. I must have pulled up the wrong version of that video. But anyway, but that factory was ultra creepy in the dark. It really was. And it was super active, as you're about to see in the next video clip we're going to show you. Is when we get the investigated started and that V2 camera immediately starts paying dividends as it starts picking up really strange things. And the strangest thing of all is what it picked up around our Vortex Spirit Box when the thing wasn't even on yet. So let's roll that first clip. And this one's really wild. This one is really strange. So let's pull up the first clip.
Third clip.
Third clip. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. It's tough night. Tough night.
Hey,
yeah, head brain
Dave. All right, Dave. I'm going to put this down for a second so I can show you what to do. Down over there. David! It said David and it said David. All right, David. Oh, here's the dealio. What's this? All right, I'm going to give you some ways to communicate with us. Okay. In my hand is a blue stick. First of all, any spirits, dead people, entities, demons, whatever's on this property. My name's Todd, that's Brandon, that's Marissa over there. We've come here to speak to you tonight. And I brought some ways for you to communicate. The first way is this blue stick in my hand. You twist the end to turn the light on and off. It will give us a sign of your presence. We can ask you yes and no questions through it. So if you can turn that light on right here. This thing's already got a dead battery. Start up with this one. There you go. Just 3 minutes into our investigation, our new SLS camera picks up an amazing entity or spirit either coming out of or climbing into our spirit box, the Vortex. You will be able to see in a second his legs sticking out. It's almost as if he's struggling to either get into the box or get out of it. What's really amazing is at this point, the spirit box isn't even on. I'm not sure what this entity is doing, but the footage captured by the new SLS cam is worth its weight in gold. Truly amazing footage.
It's got his hands down. Come in, Todd. Look at it. Oh,
Hey, good to see you. Oh, look, turn the light on.
Good
Turn
job.
the light on, thank you. Wow.
it's a weird shape. It came out full human. See it?
It's in like half its head in the box.
It's trying to come out.
If you can understand me, can you
Oh my
please
God,
shut
it is
the light
coming out of
off?
the box.
You see his hands?
Whoa.
Go talk
Hi.
to it.
If your name's David,
Hi,
could
sir,
you
I
please
see
shut
you
the
coming
light
out of
off?
the box. Can you come out and shake my hand? If you just turn on that light, can you turn that back off so I can ask you a yes or no question?
It came out before.
Can you turn the light back off?
His head's in the box. So those circles are his hands. And you'll see it.
That's
Sorry.
Chloe, is that David? Can you
I'm trying
kind of like.
Can you turn that light back off?
See how it knocks in? See how we. This thing is made to pick up.
That thing is awesome. That's
That's
awesome.
a pickup sound. I was just having a Cheerio for a while. Teenager.
Yeah, hey, with that thing, you see how it takes a minute, a second to connect. You gotta like slowly with it to show up.
You're a teenager? Could you please turn the light on?
Check this out.
Please turn one of those flashlights on if you already.
Oh, you shut it off?
It's gone.
They shut it off? There we go, there's another one.
Gone.
Gone?
Yeah.
That was weird.
Like
huh?
it went in the box, though.
Went back in it? I hope that's not what I think it is. Oh, shit. Alright, let's assume it's not.
See that?
Let me turn that up. Oh, it turned it off. What was it? Turn it on my hand. Okay, if you're a male, a boy, a man, can you please turn that light off? Oh, there we go. And it turned one on. Wow, thank you. So you're a man? Okay, if your name's David, turn one of the lights on. If you were a teenager, turn one of the lights on. God, you were a teenager. Oh, whoa, gee, both lights. Wow, so that's the thing, I guess. Okay, go ahead, school. School?
Was this a school?
Oh, wow. Shut that up. So, are you saying this land, there was a school here before? There was a school here before? Well, this building was a school.
Yo, his camera broke on his phone.
No way.
Oh, the light went on. Okay. Did you die here when this was a school? Did you pass away here in the school? Oh, there we go. Crazy. Wow, I'm sorry to hear that. That's sad. That's sad. If you were a teenager, were you? Yes. Okay. All right. I'm gonna try to find out your age. Okay. In the evening. What happened in the evening? The parallel says evening now. I don't know why there's no sound on it. Okay. If you were 13 when this happened, turn on the light. Okay. If you were 14. At 14? Turn off that light if it was 14 when you passed away. 14. I am so very sorry to hear that. I have children. All of us do here.
So he's a 14-year-old right now? Still.
So you were 14? Just to be sure, shut off that light if you were 14. You can see me now, right? You were 14, okay. And you're a boy. Okay. All right. And inner, okay. Inner. Can you use that box to tell us what year you passed away in? You know what year it was when you died? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Did you die sometime between the year 1900 and the year 2000? Did you die sometime between the year 1800 and the year 1900? Look at that, boom. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to try to guess the decade. Did you die between 1800 and 1810?
Yeah.
You did. Okay. Boom, both lights. Okay. So somewhere between 1800 and 1810? All right. Did you die in 1801? 1802? 1802? Turn on the other light if that 1802 was the last year, the year you passed away in. 1802? Is that correct? Yes.
Yes, you passed me in 1802.
Why are you still here?
Is your name Madison? It said Madison. Sammy? All right, turn off both lights. Is your name Sammy? Is your name Madison? No. Yes? So you want us to call you Madison? Is that correct? Stop so I can ask you a question, okay? Please? You're doing great. All right.
Thanks.
All right. Are you the only spirit in this building? Yes? Yes? Are there any other entities in the building? Right now. Are there any other entities in the building? Turn on a light if there are any other entities or spirits or anyone else in the building besides live people. Yeah, the only... Well, there are. Okay. Okay. Whoa, jeez. Okay. And is it another human spirit here with you? Turn on the light if there's other human spirits here. There is. Oh, boom. You need. Okay. Okay. And are there one other spirit here with you? Two other spirits here with you. So there's a total, including you, there's 3 spirits here.
Really?
Oh, boom. Right. So again, did you get sick or die of a disease? You died from an accident.
The darkness.
The darkness. You died from an accident? The dark? You said the evening before. Did you have an accident in the dark? Did you have an accident? Was the accident caused by another person?
7.
7, a mob? Were you murdered? Turn off the lights if you were murdered. You were stabbed in 1801? Is that correct? Boom, look. Boom. Stab. Oh my God, is your killer above us? Is your killer in this building? Oh.
So what you just saw there is a great example of how, especially at the beginning of an investigation, once we establish contact and communication, that we use our many devices to try to establish some base facts before we turn on the spirit box. When we turn on the Vortex spirit box, all hell breaks loose, for lack of a better term. You have multiple spirits coming through that box, as you're about to see in here. They talk over each other, they talk about us, they talk to us. So we like to establish some things before we turn on the box, at least try to figure out kind of who we're talking about, and you know why they're there, and how they died and stuff like that. And if they're willing to do that, like they just were, we were able to find out that one of the spirits there died in 1802 from a stabbing. I don't know that there was a school there. I think maybe they were saying that it's a teenager school. I think they may be saying they were like school age type of thing. It's hard to glean exactly, what they're saying through these devices, but that Paralysis app you can get on your phone right out of Google Play is very, very accurate and really creepy sometimes. And simple things like a mag light flashlight, we use it every single time. And even when we turn on our direct communication spirit box, we leave the flashlight on.
Still use the flashlight, yeah.
Yeah, because they can confirm their answers. If we hear something and we don't hear the whole bit, and we think we hear it, and we say, "Did you just say this?" And if the flashlight goes on, then we know that what we heard was correct.
Confirmation for our questions. The flashlight is my favorite piece of equipment.
And it's freaky.
Yeah.
It's freaky. There's a
Oh my
flashlight
God.
turning on a foot in front of you.
Yeah, right? And
Freaky
it's not
as hell.
me, it's not you. I mean, who the heck's turning the damn thing on? It's crazy.
Especially if I put 2 or 3 up there and they're both going on, and sometimes I don't even realize when all the other equipment's going off and there's figures turning up on the SLS and everything. And I watch the video and the flashlights are going nuts in the background. And I'm like, oh my God, it's actually pretty impressive. As I've mentioned on every probably episode of this, it's all about corroborating evidence for us. It's not about one piece of evidence. It's about trying to get as many things to go off at once as possible. Okay, because if the EMF meter is going off and the stack detector is going off and the flashlights are going off and the spirit box is going off, we've had that before, and the motion detectors are going off, okay, then something paranormal is happening. I don't care what anyone says, that something paranormal is happening. Now, looked at the video from the SLS V2 looked a little bit dark. Obviously, you could see that insane figure trying to crawl either into or out of the spirit box. We think it was trying to crawl out of it for some reason. You be the judge of that. I don't know. I'm not that spirit, but it looked like it was trying to reach his legs out and get out of it for some reason. But there was some other freaky things, and I'm not talking about the orbs, but that V2 camera with the sonar, something pretty much has to have some sort of mass to it for it to see it, because it's casting out an infrared signal and it's bouncing off of something and coming back. So if it doesn't have mass, that's not able to work like that. But there was these 2 solid black, like almost look like round circles that floated across the ceiling and went on the beams. And I hope you folks could see it, because it did it twice. It's freaky as hell. It is not a shadow. It is solid black. It's not a transparent shadow. Nothing was moving in there. We were all standing still. We're not on the ceiling either. There's no lights casting up to the ceiling to cast a shadow. We didn't have a light on the ground shooting up. Okay. It was awesome. This thing floated by. There's plenty of other weird looking orbs that floated by. And I had 3 other cameras running that I checked at the same time. And none of those things that the V2 was catching showed up on any of the cameras. So if it was just a regular orb, it would have shown up on the other cameras as well. It showed up on none of them. So something had to have mass to show up on that.
So you're saying it's not an orb. It was just a...
I don't know, I'm saying it could be some sort of spirit orb, but it's got mass to it.
Okay.
It isn't a piece of dust, I'll tell you that right now. It's got mass to it. Whatever it is, that's how big it is. Like that sonar's popping out, hitting something and coming back and deciding what the depth is, how big it is and all that by using the sonar. That's why I love that new camera's out. It's worth every penny. It's insane.
It's awesome.
It's insane. The other SLS is awesome too. They see different things. They see different things at different times. We pointed them at different apparitions that showed up on one and they weren't showing up on the other. And sometimes they show up on the V1 and they're not showing up on that. They both work in different ways and they're both impressive and awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And we make sure with the V1, because the V2 cannot have false positives. That stick figure was there and it was routing around in the box, period. It was trying to crawl out of it. That is not a false positive. That thing had mass. Okay. The V1, if you point it at a coat rack or something or a ceiling fan, it can have a false positive, but we aim it at things that are on blank walls, on a big pole or something, in the middle of nowhere, to make sure it's not a false positive. If it's aimed at something, I'm making sure it's not. Marissa knows. If we investigate somewhere, I'll throw blankets over something, I'll move something, a lamp, whatever, to make sure that a false positive does not happen.
If we investigate in our home, we'll move everything that we think it might, the lamps, we'll move the coat racks, you name it, we'll put them all away. So we don't.
And I'm not saying that it's that glitchy. I'm just saying that.
Sure that.
Yeah, I don't want no bogus evidence. I don't want anything that. I don't want anybody ever come back to me and say any piece of evidence I ever put out is crap. Okay, and most of the time I leave it up to you to be the judge anyway. But I'll give you my opinion. Okay, but there's no way for me to 100% know at the end of the day. But I do know one thing, that V2 only picks up something with mass. So be impressed, because I'm impressed.
Yeah,
it's crazy. And that thing in the box, let me tell you something. It's about to get even freakier. Because that thing reappears not once, not twice, but 3 more times, and we have the spirit box going at the same time, the vortex, and there's some wild stuff coming out of that at the same time as that. So we're gonna roll this last clip, and there's a bunch of stuff on it. There's a flare hit that Marissa caught some weird apparition peeking out, and I go over there, and unfortunately I put my hand on its head, only to find out it was something I probably should have been doing that too. But let's roll that last clip, and you be the judge. And in the comments after you watch this last clip or during it, put what you think is the thing crawling out of the box or into the box. We're just curious what everybody else thinks. I know what my opinion is, but please help us all figure this out together, because it happened 4 times. So I'm just curious what the heck it could be. You can see legs and arms coming out of this thing. It's creepy. Yeah. And the next time it pops out is even freakier. So let's roll the last clip, and let us know what you think.
Sorry to hear that. That is awful.
Todd, come here.
What?
Todd, come here. Does that look like a person?
I don't know. Are they there?
No. Standing behind the box?
Are you standing behind the box?
That doesn't look like a shorter person, right? They're moving. It looks like they're moving back and forth, right?
What's he to say? I don't know. I can't even say. Where's it? Tell me when I get close to him.
Okay. No, you're not. Getting closer. No.
Right?
Yep, right there. Stop.
Are you right here? Oh, it's ice cold right here.
Yeah. Bring your arm down. Stop right there. It's like your arm's right on top of their head.
It's ice cold right here.
Then I see the person.
Yeah, feel this.
Did you see that?
During an investigation, when things are live and in the moment, we can't always hear every voice that's coming out of the Vortex Spirit Box and what they're saying. But upon review, I usually hear about 60% more things that I didn't hear in person. In person, I did not hear the part about this figure being a demon and for me to get out of that spot, that warning that we just heard. What I did know was that this area was ice cold. It felt like static electricity where I was putting my hand. And if you watch, this entity changes color on the flare camera as if it's receding into the background. Then the color darkens back up as it comes back into the foreground. At the end of this footage, you're going to see that whole entire area changes back to its original color as if nothing is there now.
It was all dark, yeah.
Ice cold. Who's standing right here?
They're coming back though.
Who is standing here? Me. Did you hear that, me? Wow, my hand.
Yeah. Oh, look.
My hand was like ice cold.
Yeah, that was definitely a person. Oh, it still is. They're coming back now.
Yeah. What?
Hey, something's coming out. Something's coming out the box again.
Coming out of the box?
Nobody's there. Look at. You see it?
Oh, yeah.
Is this our sign?
You
see it?
Holy shit. Who's coming out of the box? Girl? Who's at the box?
Oh shit. You see it developing?
Crazy.
Could you come out completely?
Go ahead, manifest.
Could you stand up?
I'm not playing at the box, I'll tell you that.
Where is the box?
You can see it. It's not
No, that's not it.
Yes, it is. That's the speaker right there, dude. Yeah?
Could you stand up
speaker.
so we can see your head?
Yeah. What up? No?
Burnt.
So what are you scared?
You got burned?
Smell.
Burning? Is that what it's
And then it's the smell.
What are you burnt?
They're trying to stick their leg out. Look at this shit. They got like their right leg or their left leg.
Why is it crying out the box?
This is the second time.
Solid, huh?
Don't listen to who. They keep saying that.
Come out completely and stand
We got
up.
Dan. Dan.
It's a nerve.
Oh.
We're not scared. Show us who you are.
For the second time, we can see some sort of spirit, entity, or maybe a demon is trying to either get in or get out of the box. To me and everyone else, it looked like something was stuck in the box and was trying to escape. Many times we've heard that the box actually creates a portal. It doesn't sound like whatever's in there is actually too happy about its situation. We have seen entities before on our V1 SLS camera sitting on the box or in a similar type position as this on the box. I wonder if the same thing was happening with them trying to escape the portal. Either way, the new V2 camera certainly did a fantastic job, gave us amazing footage and a lot to think about for our research.
Mirror? Todd, is there a mirror in there?
Yeah.
Oh.
Show yourself.
How many spirits are here in front of us right now? His leg. How many spirits? Did I hear 8? Whoa. X?
I made the Vortex Spirit Box to both attract and help spirits communicate and manifest. I did not expect that it would be opening up portals. Right now, we're trying to figure out whether the spirits in this image are trying to get in or get out of the spirit box. Let us know what you think by commenting, and maybe we can figure this out together.
You can see it, yo, Todd, full body this time. Stretched out.
It's still there? Whoa.
Nick, my name's Marissa. Can you say my name?
Who's that?
Quick.
Still coming out?
Yeah, now it's out, and look at, you can see it like, you can see its legs, Todd, and its arms.
What? Right here.
Yeah. Looks like you're flipping us off. No? Mm-hmm. Who's in front of the box? Yo, it's getting cold.
Oh, it is. I could feel it getting cold.
Todd, yo, it's freezing, Todd. I'm getting goosebumps like crazy.
I want you to drop down to 53 near you. Holy smoke.
I'm freezing, Todd. My legs are goosebumps.
Oh, look. Todd's freezing? Okay.
Who's next to me? I can feel you.
55.
Yo, did you just see that? Todd.
What?
Oh, fuck.
Can you wave your hand? Trying to see if this is truly you here on the camera. Can you just wave your hand for us, back and forth?
Somebody's asking for help. Some people's warning us. Somebody's threatening us.
Airway over. I got mad. Like.
Todd, you got your light on me. You got your light at me.
Up. Coming out the box, Todd.
Again?
Standing up. Just popped up.
Who's coming out of the box?
Waving his hand again.
Who's coming out of the box? Did you say the demon was? Yes, it is.
This time it's like spread out.
Is that big one? Todd, huge orb, dog. Hey, way bigger than fucking.
Did you say demon was out?
No.
Is the box opening up a portal? Is the box opening up a portal?
Yes.
Yes. How big?
Another orb. Right from over there. Marissa, you're staying still, right? No.
How
You're
big?
not
Too big? I'm not afraid of him. He's a coward, a bully. Think about that. If I was afraid, I would have stopped doing this a long time ago, but I'm not.
Or
How many spirits and entities are in here right now?
What's he doing?
How many spirits and entities are in here right now?
You can map this out.
oh shit.
Well, you found one over here?
Yeah.
Oh? Yeah, that's the pole. Oh. That show. It's opposite. Hold on, it's opposite. This pole right here.
Yeah. Can you see anything?
Who's on this pole over here? Me. Who's me? That's not a name. Enough of that. Stop it. I'm not going anywhere. Make me. Listen. Do something to me. Scare me. Hit me. Push me. Do something. You want me to leave? Make me. Make me.
Hey, Todd, this is something like a ball. Yo, it came up and it like bounced.
A ball?
It's like something to a tennis ball.
Yeah.
It bounced off the floor and went right up above you when you were talking shit. Yeah.
All right, so that was actually fantastic because you got to see the difference between what the V2 shows you and what the V1 shows you. That thing climbing out of the box is absolutely nuts. It is absolutely crazy that something was trying to climb out, and at one point you could see legs, arms, and everything. I actually felt bad for it watching it because it looks like it's trying to climb out of there and it's stuck in there somehow. So it's actually pretty nuts. It said that the demon sucked Nick into the portal that the box was creating, and it over and over again said there's a huge portal. So for the second week in a row, different locations, one in Quincy, Massachusetts at the Salem, one in New Bedford, Massachusetts at an old factory. It's saying that my spirit box, the Vortex, is creating portals. To me, a portal doesn't mean that anything anywhere can pop through it. It means that at that haunted location, at that spot, it's thinning the veil to the point that the entities that are there can speak clearly, can manifest more clearly, and can come through more clearly. It's not talking about opening up a dimension into the spirit world and anything anywhere in the world can just pop right through. It's saying that the veil is thinner at that spot because of the vortex, And that's why you're getting that ultra clear, direct communication where they're answering our questions, all that stuff, and they're appearing on all of our devices. They're setting off all of our equipment because they're opening up that door between the two realms and coming right through. The only unfortunate thing is if there's a negative entity at that location, which sometimes there is, he can also walk through the door. So if there's a demon, if there's a negative entity, if there's something malicious there, it can come through just like the other spirits. You know, some of these things are attached to the building, the land. God knows what happened there before. I mean, one of the spirits there has been there since 1801. So, you know, there could be spirits there from farther back, 1,000 years back, who knows? So that's basically what it's saying. So don't misinterpret it as something that it's not. But we do get tons of activity, communication, nonstop paranormal evidence, and that vortex is a big reason why, because of some of the things that I decided to put into it that work really well. So if you go to check out some of our videos at relativelyparanormal.com, it will bring you to our YouTube channel where we have, again, tons of evidence, full investigation videos. I know we show clips here, but I always make a full investigation video after, and it'll show you just about every piece of evidence we acquire at a location, and it's all pretty crazy stuff to me. I watched ghost shows for years, and you know, they would get 1, 2, 3 pieces of evidence, maybe an EVP, which is a scratchy voice that may or may not be a spirit voice.
And our evidence is it's raw. It's not edited, other than maybe, you know, keep turning the volume up on something so you can hear it a little bit better, but it's all the real thing, just as we saw it.
The only thing I do is sometimes when I'm listening to it, I'll slow it down to hear it better, because these things talk so fast, which is why we can't hear all of it in person. And but then I put it back up to the normal volume, and that's why I put a subtitle in there, because it makes it easier to decipher what's being said. Because again, sometimes I was telling Marissa earlier, one ghost was saying one thing, and then I could hear very clearly another ghost talking under him in a whisper, saying something else freaky. So that's why sometimes I put voice 1 and voice 2. It doesn't mean one voice after the other. It means 2 people are talking at once, and if you hear the voices, that's what they're saying. And again, I'm going to mention this again. As far as anybody having paranormal problems, we are happy to help. There's a booking form on relativelyparanormal.com. We have a direct email address, which is relativelyparanormal@gmail.com. Again, we do not judge, okay? We have lived in 2 haunted houses. As far as paranormal investigators go, nobody can understand more than us. We've done over a decade of research, books, documentaries, everything we can soak up. This is all we're obsessed with it, okay? And we've been investigating for a few years too, and we used our experiences tied into what we experienced in a haunted house, tied into the research we have read, and we confirmed this with these spirits. We all asked them similar things. How'd you die? What did you see when you died? Did you see your own body? Did you see the light? This sort of thing. And I think it gives us a unique perspective as far as investigator goes, and allows us to help people. If you're being tormented to the point you want the entity removed, we can cleanse the house for you. I cannot promise that it's going to work, but it always has for us in the past. That website is also a direct link to our public Facebook page. Feel free to join, okay? And please check out our YouTube channel again, Relatively Paranormal.
We'll get the full investigation up for that business that we just did in New Bedford, and
I have like 3 other ones I'm working on too, so I'm getting them up as fast as I can.
As Brandon had just chimed in there in a message, we are going to be investigating at Liz Borden House in Fall River on May 1st.
Something I've wanted to do for a very long time. I lived in Fall River. Marissa lived in Fall River with me. Yes, we can come to your house and investigate, absolutely.
Yes, Manny.
Please either go to relativelyparanormal.com and fill out the booking form, or go to relativelyparanormal@gmail.
Send us an email.
And just send us an email,
Or
basic
give me a call.
information, and we will call you very quickly and set something up for you. Thank you for joining us tonight. I had a lot of fun. Marissa, you have a lot of fun?
I always have fun.
I always have a lot of fun. We love the paranormal. Please, if you like our stuff, share it with your friends. We could use all the support we could get. Sorry, my daughter just walked in. She loves saying hi. Julia is also a ghost hunter of sorts. She can't go out at night, but she does come to places during the day sometimes and likes to talk to spirits too. So she is the future of Relatively Paranormal. We are one big happy family, along with Brandon Soto's family. Brandon's wife is joining us at the Lizzie Borden's house. She's investigated with us before. We're psyched to have her. Casey, can't wait to investigate with you next weekend.
Lots of fun. So
we're a family, so thank you for joining our family, and from our family to yours. Have a great weekend, and please share the video. Have a great night. Thank you. Bye.